to me, and I'm gonna see who all is in here visiting me. So give me just a second while I'm talking. We're going to be working some more on this watercolor painting inside Find Color by Gugeli. Uh, Coloring View and I are actually doing this page together. I think that she's got some done. Yes, she does. I remember seeing all her red sails and she had a much darker sky, but I'm glad you're here. There, I'll just turn myself off there so I can't. It's bad enough trying to listen to myself think, much less trying to listen to myself think and talk at the same time. So, I think we've worked on the boats for a little bit and the water. I think today what I'd like to do is attack. Try and do some on the two girls here and then maybe continue with some water work over on this far side here. So, but in the meantime, I'll get some myself ready to work on these two ladies today. Some of their clothing, their hair, their faces, and we'll see what's gonna happen. So I did decide. Well, hello, Shar. How are you? Nice that you came in to see me. I hope you enjoy watching people watercolor. And right now I'm watercoloring in this book. It's called Find Color by Gugeli. It's one of the ones that View loves. It's got beautiful paper, and I've done a number of pages in this. So, but right now I'm going to get started. Oh, well, thank you. Thank you. I love to play. I love to go thrifting and find weird and wonderful things. Just before this, I was getting a package ready to go out to someone in the States. If you didn't know, I am up here in Canada. Still a little cold outside. Still some snow on the ground, though it is warming up. So hopefully it'll all get a lot better. Now I'm just, there it is, looking for my brush case that I have. And I just want to take out a couple of brushes and we'll get started on her hair because it's up there and I kind of work from right top to left bottom. So if we're going to do this, I'm going to work up here and then down here a little bit. So we'll start on her hair. And for that, I want to use a fairly good size brush, nothing too huge. I'll be able to. So I've got two. I've got a flat edge one, and I've got more of a kind of traditional brush with a longer point on it to play with for now. And I want to keep her hair dark. I've decided I want to kind of do a silvery gray white in her hair. And but in the meantime, before I start doing anything with hair, I think I'm going to put in a little bit of shading for their faces. So what have you been up to, Shar? Anything special today? Oh, and if you'd like to know what watercolors I use, that's my palette. I use the Kuretake Gansai Tambi watercolors. That's what I've been using on here. I do sometimes bring out some Inktense or other watercolor pencils just because they sometimes are just a little more accurate where you want to place the color. But what I generally do, and this is my really messy palette, is I load my brush up with the paint from there, put in this palette and add water and mix as I see fit. So hence that's why it's kind of dirty, because I love mixing my colors on my palette that I have here and using them again, again, and again. I think it just, I think it helps your picture to stay more cohesive because your eye is actually seeing this color, this green, has actually been mixed into some of the browns. Don't know how it works, but it works for me. Anyways, I'm just going to bring up some of this kind of darkish, this little darkish red that I've got going in here. I want to create a shadow, but I don't want it to be too intense, so I'm going to add a lot of water to it at the moment. So you see, that was color that I used in the sails. I'm just going to bring some of this yellow into it, because I want it to be somewhat of a flesh tone, but still kind of more of a glaze. And I'm going to use that in some of the darker areas of their skin, just to, you know, give it a hint of shadow. And if I feel it's too much, I can lift it with my little cloth here, which is I want to do. Yeah, not too much. Trick with, hey, Yoland, yo. Okay, I've got to get better at that. I better watch Rocky again. I just don't do it as good as I should. So how you doing there, girl? Trying to get some more done on this. I've been working on my dragon page, by the way, and it's coming along quite nicely. I'll show that in a little bit, but I thought I'd get a little bit done with this. Just bringing in some of the shadows that I can see that they've sketched in here. I'll just make that more prominent. So yeah. So I'm having a bit of a day, a nice day, not a bad day, a nice day. Yesterday I was out, did a little thrifting, which I love to do, and it just gets me out. Oh, in Colorful Time. Yes, I don't have that one yet. I might have to get it. You know, I'm enjoying this one so much. I really do like the artistry that's in here. And the paper is just so nice. You know, can't complain about that at all. Put that there. Just pull it up a tiny bit. Oh, are we all coming on? It's that, you know, it's that time of day. I'm going to be on for a while, I think, today, because I got lots of time that I can stay on. And I'd like to get more of this done because I'd like to. I've been taping this dragon one. Here we go. I've been taping this one, but I've been taping it in double time, so you can kind of see all of my steps. And I've got to work on his, you can see I'm starting some of his scales down here. These are watercolor and Inktense pencils. And the background was all watercolor. This is some watercolor. And then I used the Inktense to base in my red and black and yellow. And, well, the yellow is actually watercolor. But I'm using Inktense and other watercolor pencils to work on his scales, because I want him to be a black dragon. Well, thank you. You might like this one too, Shar. I've also, if you know, this was also done completely in watercolor with just a little bit of gel pens added to it. And I've done lots of pictures in here with just pencil, but I think I remember you saying that you liked watercolor. I should bring her face down maybe a little bit so you can see, but I love how the flowers turn out. And yeah, so glad to see you're here, and I'm going to continue with my, where's my boats? Over here. Continue working on these ladies today. The eyeball. Oh, the eyeball jar page. Yes. It turned out really well, and I had lots of fun watercoloring it, and it's just made me want to do more in this book because it's just lends itself so well to the paint. And there, back to the face. But yeah, Char, I think you did say that you like watercolors, if I remember in the, was it Views channel that we were talking on, I think? And, yeah, so not all watercolor has to be original watercolors. Now I do that too. This is one I'm kind of not too happy about how it's turning out down around here. So I'm going to have to put some leaves or something in here. But this is a watercolor of mine. Anyways, I like to do all sorts of different things. And like I said, I was out thrifting. What did I find? Oh, I found this cute little this 1980s planter. These are great for pencils and things on your desk. But I also found, besides that, a couple of nice wooden holders for my desk. So here, got this bamboo holder, and I've got all my shorties, all my shorty pencil crayons in there. Previously, I'd shown another bamboo box that I've put all of my Prismacolors in and other wax pencils. And then I was able to find this box, which now has all of my Inktense, my watercolor, and my Graphitint pencils in it. So when I want watercolor pencils, I pull this box down. So I now have a shorty box, a wax pencil crayon box, and the watercolor box. And I'm considering putting my oil-based pencils in that box because I'm sure I have lots of room. And then I'm not looking through all my tins. I hate looking through the trays. I will look at the tip of a pencil and I'll say, that's what I'm looking for. So, yeah, I think these are cute. I think these are cute, and so do other people, and they use them, you know, you can give them as baby gifts, and yeah, so I clean them up and see what I can do, and I found this, and I thought this was really sweet. It's some enameled copper is what it is. Just a little trinket dish. It says 1977 by Erin Canada on the back. And I thought it was pretty cute. Looks like a little white weasel. Yeah, I hate them in lying flat. They're always all over the place, and now I can visually see them, and I can pull down the box that I need. So let's get going more on this. Keep talking. So what else did I get? Oh, I just got those two little pencil caddies and that little train and that little trinket dish, and I think I'm going to put them on my Etsy site and see what happens. I had a little trinket box go out today, so that's what I was wrapping up prior to this. So probably a good idea for me to get some more listed. If you ever want to visit that site, it's the same, I have the same name, Living Skies Vintage, SK, on the Etsy site. And I find all sorts of vintage things that I think are weird, wonderful, and unusual. Yeah. I found a really old medical book one time, and it had like all these pages where you could, you know, flip them over and you would see the different organs. It was actually for home use. And it had like different remedies, you could say. Not that they were really much remedies, but yes, I do have some Instagram stuff, and you will see me there. I think it's just Jayne Literick, Litt. Used to have that name in with the rest of my with this here, but I took it out. Oh, okay. That's great. Yeah. IG. I try and post most of my stuff on IG. I just funny don't do it all the time. And I should be more regular when I finish things. I'm trying to. So I'm just putting a little dark around the edge of the fur here. So her skin will be reflecting under her hair a little bit. And just make that not so definite. And I just want to put a little bit more of the pinky tone over here underneath her hair. Not leave it so white. There we go. See, I added some shade to her hand. And I'm going to put a little bit more on there. Thank you, Devin. Appreciate that. Devin, I know Shar, I think Shar subscribed to you, but if just in case, you know, you can put your channel on there also. There we go. That's better. So I'm just gonna, yeah, that's where I was. Into the fingers, just a little bit of more color on the bottom edge here. It's gonna be in shadow. And it doesn't make a big, I'm not making a big difference. Oh, Devin's got great videos. It doesn't make a big difference, but you know, as you layer up all of these little individual layers of color will make a difference. And it's always better to put on lighter layers than heavier layers, because you can add them in, but it's hard to take away. Now, if they're wet, like what I was doing, I was just taking some of the color away while it's still wet. But certainly not after they've dried a bit. She's got a bit of shadow back here on her hand, as I can see, because the original artist helped me out with that. And you can't see, she's got a little hand down here. And I'm just gonna highlight a bit. All right, so she's got a little bit of a cheek blush. She doesn't have any at the moment, or any color on her lips. And neither does she. So I'm going to take a little bit. Now, this red I had sitting in my palette. See, right there. And what I'm going to do is I'm just taking a little bit of the water, adding to it, because it had dried out from the other day. And because that's there, I'll use a little bit of that on her lips. Not too much, and I might need to blot this a bit. Just want a hint of the color at the moment, not too much. And we'll just give that a little blot. There we go. Took some of the total brightness away from it. Just give it a bit more of a stain. I know it's hard for you to see. I'm looking at my screen. It doesn't look like I'm doing anything, but I am. I am. I'm going to put a little bit on her lip down here since I have it on the brush. And I'm going to take a little more water, a little bit of that, a little bit of that. Give her a little bit of a cheek. There we go. Just add a little more water to that. Ah, thank you, Shar. I'm just gonna soften that edge just a bit, because I can see the hard edge. And then just do that. There we go. Looking a little more lifelike and not so flat anymore. I'm going to continue. Let me see. I have both the green and the red in my palette right at the moment. So I'm going to work on some of their robes right now since it's there. Continue yakking. Let's work this way. We'll go with the red first. Hello, View. Nice to see ya. I'm working on this, and I've been working on my dragon, too. I have been. Just trying to block some more color in, especially in these, in the clothing. There'll be lots more layers of that yet. But I did a really rough block in when I first did it. Now I've got a smaller brush that I'm just trying to, get into the fur a little more. Oh, yes, definitely, Devin. They are returning. I'm starting to see them in the morning and in the evenings again, as they go from their nesting spots to the fields around the city to eat. Because some of the fields are pretty well open. So, there you go. Hello, Fire Horse. Nice to see you. All of a sudden my chat disconnected, but I think I've caught up with everybody again. There we go. So yeah, the Canada geese, they fly over pretty regularly now. I can see the V. Saskatoon is a city that has a river that runs through the middle. The South Saskatchewan River. Holy doodle, had to think about that. Forgetting my geography. And so the geese like to nest down by the river and close to our parks that are along the river. And then in the morning, as the sun is getting up and it's getting a little warmer, they leave their nests and go feed in the surrounding farmers' fields. They'll eat bits of grain, and not that they eat it off the plants, but off the ground basically. I don't think farmers, I can't say that I've ever heard farmers saying that they're unhappy that the geese are in their field. So, but they go in, they'll eat all sorts of bugs and things like that. So yeah, the farmers like them. Yes, our kind of went through a bit of a heat wave at the end of last week too. It was up in the like it was plus 6. Now that's centigrade, so that's above freezing. And today, let me see. I don't see it on my computer offhand, but it wasn't quite as warm. And but next week we are apparently going to get a little bit more of a warm up. It's spring, but it's not going to be um, extremely warm for time of year, but definitely warmer than normal. Yes, everybody check out everybody's channel. You know, that's giving each other support too. Like love watching seeing what other people do. Sometimes gives me inspiration for what I'd like to do. I'm terrible in that. I don't really like to do the same thing as other people. Like when I'm creating, I want to find something different and do it my way. Ah, uh, oh, but yeah, I'm thinking about, and I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have do this. Is there's a kind of a artist group club, might say. We'll see. Um, it's for people of all skill levels, but it's for people over 50, which I am definitely. We got a little bit of snow the other night, and it kind of came down in more like little teeny tiny snowballs, which is almost like hail. But anyways, so I'm gonna check out this group and see how it goes. I'll let you guys know. But I'm joining it more for the companionship. I can't say, not quite companionship, but getting out and seeing other people that have the same interests that I do. Not that I don't love all of you here, but it's nice to see people in person. So that's almost gone, that paint. I'm just gonna kind of do a little bit of an accent down here. And then I'm gonna lift some more of that paint up. That was the Rose Madder Deep. I'm actually lifting up some Carmen. I'm putting it in that other tray that I'd used for her face. So you can see what I did is I picked up the brush, and now I've just kind of put all the paint in this little pocket here. And I can add water to it if I want to make it lighter, but it's going to be on her. I'm going to use some of it on her coat as a lighter color, and then I want to take that original Rose Madder Deep and put it back in there, so you can see it's a little deeper red, a little more blue than that, but it'll work well for the deeper crevices. There we go. Yes, real life socialization. Just going out thrifting and seeing people around me helps, but uh, sometimes people, you start talking to strangers and they think you might be a little nuts. So now it was easy to do when I was on vacation because essentially we were all strangers. You know what I mean? We're just going to add a little water to that and let the water take it. But at home here, talking to strangers, yeah, that could, that's a little different. The coloring and crafting comrades. Mm-hmm. Well, I'm glad that I think we can all learn from each other because a lot of stuff like I look at things that where people show you how to do this, show you how to do that. Now, if you want some really good art techniques, Char, you might take a look if you've never been there before to Cat and Paste. Now, I don't think she's posting anymore, but she has lots of videos on different artistic methods and how to do things. So you'd find that very interesting. Aquafit every Thursday. We laugh while we splash it around. Yeah, my sister doesn't. My sisters are in BC, and yeah, they're both in BC now. My brother's in BC. See, I'm the only one in this crazy province of Saskatchewan. But this is where my career was, so that's what happened. So, anyways, I'll keep you guys posted. See, I don't expect much to come out of it, but I guess if you don't do any, you won't meet anyone, right? Thank you, Devin, for posting that. I think Cat's got a lot of very good lessons that we should learn in regards to art and different things that you can do. So I can only encourage you to go and visit and take a look at some of her YouTube videos if you like watching how people do art and instructional things. Yeah, I like people to tell me how they do something and maybe suggest how it can be used. But I don't want to, like you see these books and things, paint this landscape. That's not what I want. I want to kind of learn really there. Maybe I want to learn more my voice and what I want to do. I've not been painting and creating personal things for a little while. I find it much easier just to go into the coloring books and get lost. Also, when I found myself creating things, I was creating maybe darker things that I wanted to. So, yeah, learn technique. That's right. And everybody has a different technique of doing things too. So, there's basic techniques. Lately, a YouTube channel that's been coming up in my feed is the Milan Art Institute. Now, they also have commercials and they want you to take their art class. And I think it's pretty pricey. Well, if you have the money, you might want to do it. But some of the things that they do on that, because they're competing, is quite interesting, and they give them a time limit. And apparently, they get all these a set of lessons before they go in to create some of these pieces that they're to use in their pieces of art. But I've been finding that quite interesting just to watch. So, View, what have you been doing? I saw the background that you did on your dragon page. Here's Thank you, Devin. There's my dragon page so far. If you're still here, view, I don't think I showed it to you, but I'm working on the scales, and he's going to be a black dragon. Pull that down a bit more so you can kind of see, but his face is getting there. I've been using Inktense and Graphitint for the blacks, and that's Inktense red for his mane. Oh yes, I just finished the monster face episode, Devin. Actually, I didn't finish it. I have left I haven't watched the end part of that to see who won it. So don't tell me. Is that the art school you went to, Shar? Wonderful. You have to tell us all about it. Is it worth it? I thought it was in Italy when it said Milan, but that's her last name. I can't go to Italy. Though that would be fun. Do that for a few months, eh? So yeah, I'm just deepening some of what I think would be the shadows and folds on her outfit here. I'll go probably do another glaze over top of it with another more color, but the more you put in one area, the deeper that's going to be. Cool, very cool. I'm sorry, I'm reading you, Shar. Stop drawing and creating figures because there's more of you can do better instead of how to use the art supplies. Oh, okay. I think it's really subjective, you know. Being an artist is definitely hard because if people don't understand what you're trying to do, I think that you can be misread, but it's, yeah. I don't know that I could ever say that art would be my my main income. I wish it could be, but I don't think it will. But we'll see. I keep pushing. I keep, make things, and we'll see. See if anybody likes them. There's some very faint lines in here. I'm just trying to pull some shading. Oh, that's really interesting to hear that, especially from someone that's gone there. And I'm going to do a little bit of work on the green. Again, this is just probably the straight color mostly, yeah. From the palette. Actually, it's probably a mixed color that I just left in my paint palette here. And I'm just going to use that to apply some paint, and then I'm going to pull it down with some water. There we go. Hey Chris, how are you? Nice to see you. That's a good point, Char. Is, I tend to learn through observation also, and see how I can apply different things. Sometimes I find that you can apply techniques from one medium to another. Won't get the same effect, but it's interesting. Pull that down just a bit because I want that right close to her. There we go. That's, yeah. You're recording the pan pastel is like an experiment. Oh, that sounds like fun, Chris. Yes. Anytime people can just show how they've done something is interesting, you know. Like I don't think any of my techniques are special, but I might apply them in a different way than someone else. But I'd like to get this page finished so that I can actually get onto another page and finish up that dragon page. I'd like to do that before the end of March, so it can be in the March of Dragons, but it doesn't matter. I can still do March of Dragons if it's late. I don't think that's going to hurt anybody. Oh, is Buey, you still here? Yeah, I love adding different mixed media techniques. I love using oh gosh, templates, stencils. That's the word I'm trying to remember. Stencil to create patterns and building up things. You know what you would like, Shar, is looking at my my Asian Oriental. Oh, glue book. Oh, which I just dropped. Ugh. But this is a mixed media book. I found this book at the thrift store. All it was like 4 photographs. It has this great kind of stiff card. So I painted and glued to my heart's content. And some of these are napkins. That's actually out of a coloring book. So is that. But I gotta fix this page. It's come out because of all the water and abuse that I've put on it. But yeah, this is my let's have some fun in here book. And it's all been just splashed with paint and glued down images. So, and I throw things in here that I'm going to put in later. So yeah, love doing that kind of stuff. Thank you, Shar. Well, thank you, Jimmy. That's my son there. Anyways, put this back. I've got a few things in there that I need to glue in, so I'll do it. And I'm gonna watch that too, Chris. Thank you, Shar. Yes, he's supporting his mom by helping her with some watch hours. He's a good boy. But yeah, so I love doing all sorts of different things like that. Right now I'm stuck on doing this book in watercolors. Not stuck, but not stuck in the way that I don't want to do it. It's stuck because I do want to do it. There. Soften that edge just a touch because I want those to be a little brighter. That was just a quick one. I should actually dedicate one of my times to flip through a number of things. I do have a few other journals. I saw you doing that, Devin. Like the napkin journal, and I got my Christmas one. I've got my man journal. My man journal is just different things that I put in. Sometimes the frustrations that we have with men, or just some things times that they do, that just like, men. Anyways, so I got a little sports page for them. Okay, I think I'm going to work on her hair right now, which is going to be dark. There's some Payne's gray blue and some purpley mixed in there. I'm going to take some, well, it's actually blue-gray deep is what the Kuretake calls it, but it's like a Payne's gray, blue-gray. Yes. Yeah. Those are fun to do. You gotta get the napkins out and kind of do a bunch of stuff at one time. I have napkins in that journal, and I have old paper, acrylic paint, all sorts of different things. So same with what I've done with the dresses. I just want to kind of go in on where the artist has told me there is some deeper shadows with this paint and blue-gray deep. Create a couple of edges. And just use the brush to kind of create a little bit of hair-like strands. Oh, that will be good, Devin. I'll have to see if I can catch up to that. Yeah, impromptu live seems to be my thing right now. I can't seem to find a good time that is making time for me and everyone else. So, but Sunday afternoons aren't too bad. I know everybody's on, but because you're not slammed for time, you can jump from one place to another. Okay, take care, Fire Horse. Glad you could stop by, and please come by again. We'll see you soon. I know we'll see you around the stream anyways. The YouTube stream. Oh, now here's a bit of hair that I don't think got covered in the first place, so I'm just going to darken that. And I think I'm going to take this here too. And then just go up. Now, I'm trying to move around this little bow decoration in her hair a little bit. And outline it, because sometimes the outlining in your darker color is as important as the filling in of the lighter. That probably should be brown, but I'm just going to put that there for now, and I will add some brown. And you're going too, Chris? No, yes? No, you're just saying goodbye. Okay. So yeah, Chris, I saw that you were on earlier today, but I was still in bed. I was still in bed when you came on. I woke up today to the sound of two cats at my back door, one of them being mine. He likes going out now that it's getting not so cold. He doesn't wake me up. He wakes up my son, usually around 5 o'clock in the morning. And he just lets him outside. But this morning it was 8, just before 8. And I was having a wonderful early morning kind of doze. And all of a sudden I could hear this. So I went downstairs thinking, oh no, my cat's got a problem. And here he is at my back door, facing off with another cat that almost looks the same as him. Except my cat has some white paws and a little white star on his chest. So I could tell that wasn't my cat. Besides, there was 2 of them. My cat was like pressed against my back door. And he wouldn't come in when I opened it. He just kind of sat there and kept threatening the other cat. You know how they do it. Yes, definitely a cat thing. So anyways, so I opened the door trying to scare the one away and get mine in. And of course, he wouldn't come in. And the other one really wasn't getting very far. So I came upstairs and had to get dressed. Because I had gone downstairs, just my nightie and my house coat. Because I was enjoying that early morning dozing. Anyways, that's how my morning started. I like how that's coming along. Just, you know, getting the darks in where the darks need to be on her hair there. And even though it's a blue, it's just, oh hi ambience. Yes, he was. He's a good cat. He tends to actually sleep with me for the most part. And then Bugs's brother, as I like to say, to let him outside. You see, I'm just trying to flick some of the color to create a pattern that's going to resemble her hair. And I got this going. That's maybe a little heavy, but that's okay. It's gonna come this way. I'll pull it this way. More. Ah, that's nice. Mine used to come and sleep right on my desk on top of all my papers while I was working, which wasn't too bad because my keyboard kind of was under the desk and the papers were more for a reference than anything else. I wasn't really producing anything on paper. It all was electronic. There we go. It's coming along. You know, not true hair yet, but more tones of. And what's going to be darker. Now I want to make sure here that there is a difference between her hair and her hair in tones. And I want it to be a sharp difference because I do want her hair to be more white. White and silver. So I gotta leave my the paper fairly untouched for the most part. There, getting there. You don't want hair to look like a helmet. You want hair to look like hair. Unless the hair looks like a helmet. That's definitely a cat for you, Chris. I've had it where I've been trying to write things down and he's attacking my hand with the writing instrument in it. I can't remember if it was a paintbrush or pencil crayon or a pen at the time, but I definitely remember being attacked. Usually all these little markings that you see on my hands are from my cat attacking me. My finger's getting better. This is the one that I had surgery on. I just have a kind of a little hard piece of skin here now that needs to, just finish completely healing. It's a little, I can feel it where the ends were of the cut. Still feel a little pain if I press on them, which means that maybe they're not quite healed yet, but they're getting there. That's what makes the difference. There. As is her hair getting there. Now, I think all of her hair, this is all this person's hair, this here. So what I'm going to do with that is I'm going to take that, I think your kitty was telling you, Char, that it was time to quit. Take a break. Good kitty. Okay, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little bit of a brighter blue or a lighter brighter blue, which is going to be like a cerulean, but it's going to be really watered down. Hers is the blue gray deep. I'm going to take just a little bit of this cerulean. I'm going to stick it right in there. And you can see it's a different blue. But it's maybe a little too bright. I'm going to take a little bit of that, put that in there. That's getting more towards the color I would like. Very light, very watery. I'm going to take, though, a little bit of this horizon blue from the Kuretake Gansai Tambi set. And you can see that it's a very milky blue. I'm just going to add that in there. Look how that changes, eh? That's because it's gone less transparent and more opaque. Now that still isn't quite the color I want for her hair. So let's get a little bit of gray. That's not quite, that's just making it more milky. I'm going to go back to the blue-gray, no, indigo. A little bit of indigo. Let's see. That's getting there. Okay, I'm going to add some water into that, and we'll see how this goes for using it for the dark undertones of this hair. I'm just going to need lots Lots of water. Lots of water. Okay. So you can see I put some gray on a lot of this hair already, just straight gray. But now I want to bring in some of this. Now that might be just too blue. I'm going to have to get my cloth, pick that up a bit. Too blue. How can I muddy that? So blue, opposite of blue is orange. I want to make it a little muddier than what I want. I'm going to put some of this in. I'm going to put some of this orange in this blue. Look how that changes. Look how that changes. I'm going to take some of this gold, put it in there. That's really turn into a greeny mud almost. See how this works. It's more along the lines of what I'd like to see. Okay. Didn't want it to be so blue that it's going to be the same as what she's got. So now I've got this kind of muddy thing here, which is it's kind of a grayish, greenish, bluish undertone. See there? And then just trying to put a little more color on some of the shaded or darker areas of this hair. That's what I'm doing at the moment. Blue, green, brown tint. Yep. Again, just add a little water. Just want a little more color than the straight gray to define her hair. That's a little bit. That's a big blob of paint. Take that off. That's better. That's more like what I wanted. Okay, here we go. Some here. There we go. That's better. More like what I was envisioning here. And I do this a lot. I just mix up stuff and I just go, that will work. Not necessarily knowing, again, how I did it. But, oh, see, that part right there is part of her. Now that I'm painting the hair, good thing I still have some of that color in here. Just do that real quick. Don't want that too deep at the moment. Back to my bluey gray brown. And I'll move it up a little more so you can kind of see more of her hair. since it's down towards the bottom of the page. There. This in here is going to be quite dark. Will appear darker because it's in the shadow of her face in the fold. There we go. That's coming along. Getting to where I want it to be. And yeah, and this paper is so forgiving with, you know, I throw a lot of water on it. And it still comes back a little bit, you know, a little bit curled up when you get the water on the edges, but I don't think that ruins your book. And you can always flatten those again later. So just gonna move my little clip off of that area. Way down. So what's everybody else up to, Devin? You're I'm sure playing in your art room while you're watching. I know that's what I would be doing. I'd be painting and watching YouTube, seeing who's on, catching up with all my must watch later stuff. I think I made a mistake there, and I'm going to just kind of admit that I did. Fix this. I think right under her fingers, it should be a little bit of the red of her kimono. Right in that space there. So I'm going to do my best to correct it. Oh, protein shake. Sounds good. Yeah, I think that was part of her kimono. So we'll just put that in there. And then I'll give it a little press right there. Because now as I'm looking at it, sometimes these are hard to say when you're doing them, what everything is. Because they're so detailed. And like I had forgotten that piece up there. Just soften that a bit. There. Much better. Much better. Hi, Ivy. Thank you. Yeah, Sunday is a busy day for everybody. I know. So like I say, it's like, come on. See what I can do, get it out there, and then, you know, glad you could stop by for any amount of time, I say. Yes, I am over winter. I want some fresh berries and smoothies, and yeah. All that good stuff. Ooh, Which reminds me, I think I have a triple berry sherbet down in the down the freezer. I might have to get myself some of that later this afternoon for a little snack. That would be fun. I like sherbet over ice cream. Ice cream gives me a tummy ache now. Find myself a little bit lactose intolerant as I'm getting older. Thank you, Ivy. Ooh, turmeric, chia seeds, and seaweed. I don't mind chia seeds if they've not turned into that big goopy mess that they can turn into. I am not. Let them turn into the goopy mess inside my tummy. I don't want to have to drink it that way. And turmeric is good for you. I know that. Lactose foolish, yeah. Yeah, no ice cream, but like I say, sherbet is pretty good. I still use milk in my coffee, but that's not enough to really set me off. But all the good chip dips, like my onion chip dip that has sour cream and stuff in it these days, is little amounts only. I don't get to really enjoy it as much as I used to, but hey, that's what happens. That's what happens. Oh, and a banana. Yep. Bananas are always good. So I'm just adding some more paint to her hair to get some of the darks more colored in. We will be leaving the lighter colors till the end. If I put them in at all, I might just end up using an acrylic pen or something like that. I know I have an extra fine Sharpie that I have used for hair in the past in this book, and it doesn't go through as long as you don't dwell too long in one spot on the paper. But I did pick up some black Pitt pens on the weekend that were on sale, and I thought 0.7, 0.5, where's the other one? And I thought that they might be good. That one's the 0.7. Because I think they have a 0.1. See, that one's a 0.5. That one's pretty skinny. And I could probably do some nice line work in her hair. But these Pitt pens are supposed to be water soluble when wet, but permanent when dry. And this one's the brush, and this one is the 0.3. So this one's even smaller. Yeah, that one's even tinier. Look at how tiny that one is. But I thought that these would come in handy for myself, because I like working with pens also. And yeah, they'll come in really handy when I start doing eyelashes and things like that on here. And I believe that they say that they do not bleed. I will check before I do any of this on here. But I'll check if they bleed through one of the papers at the back or the front. I really don't have much of a test paper unless I do it on the... see, even the front cover's got... I guess I could test it on the back. Anyways, here we go. Yeah, the set of 4 were on sale for like $12, so I went. I've been wanting a Pitt pen, so there's a brush in the 3 different sizes. I figured it's a good buy just to check them out. It's only $3 a piece, so worked for me. Carol, Carol. Oh, there she is. There she is. Hi, Carol. Nice to see ya. I'm just doing a little bit of watercolor painting and yakking away about stuff, you know, life in general. Just trying to get a little darker base down here for her hair in the shadows. Ah, well, I am still painting here. Nice to see you, Carrie. How you doing? Yeah, we'll come check you. We'll come check you out. I just kind of like this was a good time for me, and just I wanted to get into this painting and get a bit more done on this page while my camera was still had some charge in it. What happens is I get videotaping different things, and then I gotta go charge my camera. I can watch things on my laptop, but yes, View, I'm glad that you're here. And Carol, glad you could stop by. Wasn't able to come yesterday evening, but had some family things going on. You know, Saturday nights. Sometimes you want to just get out and do some things with the fam. Well, that's good. You can always do a split screen on your laptop. I can watch, well, it depends on where I am. Um, right now I'm in my little art room, and so if I'm not taping, well, if I'm taping, I can actually watch someone on another channel from my laptop. And then if I'm not taping, I can have someone on my laptop. I can have a couple of people on my laptop, and then someone on my phone. And then downstairs, when I'm on the big screen, I usually just use the big screen. Um, you can have maybe a couple of things on there. I haven't tried splitting that screen. I split it on my laptop. That's easy to do on a computer. But then I can talk to people on my big screen when I have my phone, because they'll connect, and it's so much fun to watch people on the big screen. You're not squinting and trying to figure it out what they're doing, especially as I'm getting older. I'll put a little more darkness in here, a little more intensity of color in this shaded area. Go around her face. That's I don't want to do that so solid. That's a hair. Be careful you don't paint it in so much that she looks like she's got a beard instead of just hair falling past her. Yeah. Split screen, big TV, love it. Yes, Lena is very good. I'll have to check. Yeah, you're right. She hasn't come on for a while. Check her out. Check her out. Check all these artists out, people. Stay for now. Check them out later. But check everybody. Check each other's channels out. I think, that's how you build your community. Right? More there. Yeah, there, that's better. That's better. I want a little more of a wash and less color there. All right. Let's do some more on her robe, which seems to have dried nicely. And I need to do these yet. I need to do my big posts yet. And I still need to do more work on the boat. Yeah, watch later. You have watch lists. You could do that. View is so much fun to watch. And I like that she tells you what she thinks. That woman will give you a piece of her mind whether you want it or not. Love you, View. Okay, hands on snow. Oh, are you playing with some glue right now? Right now, Carol, that your hands are messy. There, I needed some brown in there. There we go. Closing off that gap. I am just so proud of you, View. Oh, you're making wraps, like food wraps, right? Like tortilla wraps, not pencil wraps. But I was so proud of you, View, for asking Dee Dee to join us. I think, you know what we do? We forget about Dee Dee and all those people because I like I know I think oh they wouldn't want to color with little old me, you know. And we've more like I started watching Dee Dee. She already had a big channel. I started watching Jen. She already had a big channel. I started watching Devon. She didn't have a channel quite yet. She started her channel around the same time as I did, I think. But she was on there doing things every week. Yeah. And, you know, and forget to ask Dee Dee just to do some fun things. And, because, you know, I look at it and I go, she's a busy lady. She's got all these things that she says that she's doing, right? No, maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe we're just, you know, kind of not really thinking that part through so much, but just trying to get some more color back in these boats. It's a little more yellow or what I had before. Just give it a bit of a tonal change. Yes. Every other week, yeah. But I think that's allowing you to do some other things in your life too, Devin, right? And going live every week can be challenging. Right? You know, what do you talk about? So, anyways, I'm just glad all you guys could come and hang out with me for a while today while I do this. Bring some of that up in there because that actually would make for a good color off of there. There we go. See how I used some of the gray that I had used on her hair over here just to darken this a little bit because I want that to look shady. I'm going to use that same gray but a little more intensity over here because things in the distance don't get sharper, they get fuzzier and grayer. Oh, that looks like it's more in the distance. Oh, let me catch up with chat here. Hootenanny, you betcha. Painting, coloring, and hootenanny. Oh, I'm really falling behind in the color. Okay, I do. Yeah, coloring, you betcha. Oh, you got Leon's Journey. Nice. I have A Story of Precious Cats by Kanoko Igusa, and I enjoy that one too. I haven't played in that one for a while. Ooh. 4 hour blocks of time, actually fine. Oh, okay. Yeah, I want to feel the paper too. Yep, the paper just makes a huge difference. Huge difference. Anyways, get back to the painting and stop with the reading. I'm gonna get a little bit of this brown and add it to here. And I'm going to get a little bit of this yellow, muddy yellow I've been playing with. Stuff it in there a little bit too. I had to use some muddy yellow on that there. And then I just want to, these are small, and these will lighten up. But these are the rungs, or not the rungs, the little things on the side of the ship. And if I do this now, I may not need to go back to it, but I noticed that the ones that I had done were just a little too faint, and I wanted a little more definition to them. In this boat, anyways. This one will get even more. But this boat is like second in line, that one's third. And a little bit here. Yeah, I agree, Devin. You know, you can only do so much on camera. The rest of it, I can't always do it on camera. I want to be able to watch somebody every once in a while. That's what I like doing when I'm working on my different projects. Is have someone on that you like to watch. And go from there, eh? There we go. That's coming out the way I like it. That's got a little balustrade there. Give that a little one. Him a little more. Him a little more. Yeah, Vue's got a great random schedule, and I've been trying that for myself. It's hard to get regular viewers if you don't have a schedule. But I'm tending to come on Sundays during the day, because Saturdays I like to, go out and thrift and that stuff. And they're not open on Sundays. So that kind of puts a damper in that. And then I'd like to do more one evening during the week. I just have to determine which evening that will be good for me. And if you weren't here earlier, I was talking about I'm going to start. I think it's April 7th or 8th. I'm going to have to look at the email again, but I'm starting 50 plus art gathering things. So I don't know if we're going to do specific things or, you know, um, you know, today you're painting the picture of the Northern Lights, or how that's going to go about. So we'll see. We'll see. I don't, yeah, I don't know that I need anybody to teach me a lot of things, but I'm going there more for some camaraderie, socialization. Oh. Yeah, yes, the Nina, the Pinta, and the Santa Maria, except it's Chinese. Yes, Ivy, I'm going to be checking to see what your schedule is. What are you going to, oh, you're going to try and show your she shed? Oh, good. April Fool's, Devin. April Fool's, not this Wednesday, April 1st. Yeah. It works better for me to just pop on, but I find like I'm trying to give people maybe a little heads up like I did today. Um, so I put out on my community post anyways. I don't know how many are getting uh, notifications, but we'll see how that works out for a while. There and there. Okay. All right, let's get back to some blue seawater here. I think that's where I said I was going to do more of that today. So I'm just going to pull my book over and move it up a little bit. Move my water over. Might have to move a couple of things out of the way here. No, April Fool, no. Okay. There we go. Got it together. Got it together. So I'm going back. I still have this blue in my tray right at the moment, and I'm gonna reinforce that color a little bit again, just by going around the outside and just adding another layer. Now I'm going to soften that. I don't really want a horizon line, though that's probably about where it should be. Oh. Carol. Do, 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 do. Oh, okay. I'm glad that you're explaining the buddy color thing there, Devin. Yeah, certainly, Carol. You are more than welcome to join us if you want. No, I don't like. We happen to have the same book, so it's easy for us to coordinate a page sometimes. Do that. Yeah, I don't have any of those books that you've been working in, Ivy. Though I love to see what people do, and no matter what book they're coloring in, I love to see what people do, or just how they interpret a page as opposed to how I might interpret a page. On Fridays, it's random. Okay. I've never thought of streaming while you're playing a game. I'm one of those people that like playing Nintendo and, back with the original Zelda game. It came out with the original Nintendo. That's kind of me. I like the puzzle solving side of games usually, or games similar to what we already play in real life, like pool, that type of thing. From trying to make, you can make something look brighter by putting something darker beside it. So I am brightening my water, that little bit of foam right there, by putting a very dark wash over top that there. And even though that has been colored with a wash of paint, it will appear lighter because of the darkness I'm putting beside it, like so. And I'm just going to take my water and spread that out. Thank you, Devon. I think the trick to water and things like that a lot of times is making sure that your brush strokes are going in the right direction. So you notice I've pulled the water this way a lot, so it's creating that flat surface, even though I have this lovely cauliflowery spread here from the original paint lay down. So I'm just choosing some areas to keep highlighting with this little bit of darker paint. And I'm going to get into there a little more too. There, that's looking good. Oh, yes. I think I've got all the Zeldas except for the very latest one, because that's a new system. And yeah, I just don't have that one. Okay, I want to just this. Get a little more paint there. There we go. How long have I been on here for now? 1:30? When did I come on? I can't even remember when I came on. Noon? Just after noon? 12:30? No. I think I've been on for 22 minutes. I've been on for longer than that, I'm sure. Anybody else? You said you're coming on maybe later, View? 99 minutes. Thank you. Oh, your next IG post. Well, can you though? Can you use Zelda music? That's the only thing. Sometimes you can't use all that stuff because it's copyrighted. Great idea though. Again, just gonna put in a little bit in some of these areas here. Building up the layers. Okay. You want all day? All day? Don't that even I don't think I would want to watch me all day. Come on, View. Though I have to say I do like chatting with you all. It is fun. We have lots of laughs. View, did you see my new pencil holder cases that I got at the thrift store? Oh, okay. Pre-record the she shed. Yeah, I do it on my phone too. I don't actually. My phone's a good phone. I don't mind recording on it. Oh, that's good on IG. Okay, I'll have to remember. I haven't never looked for Zelda music, but I have used some of the music on for my shorts. Yeah, and for IG, I think I've used it when I run a series of pictures. I should use them more often, actually. People like music. And I'm just kind of randomly putting some more blue down in different areas, spreading it around, because you don't want necessarily everything to be the same color. Mix it all up. Like I had put broad bands of blue on this page prior. Now I'm just kind of picking out some more of the I would say stripes that indicate the waves of the water. Those will look better once the gel pen's on them too. That's why we got to get that blue in there. I saw Adri trying to get on, but I was busy doing something else. But I'm going to go back and watch her. And Carol, thank you for the invite. If we happen to be doing it at the same time, I would love to come on with you sometime. I should get out some of my mixed media stuff though with you because I think that's what you like to do more with your on your channel these days. But I appreciate all of the invites, ladies. And I will take you up on that. Yes. You want your own hubby before you kick the bucket. Okay. I don't know if I want another hubby, but I sure wouldn't mind having someone to snuggle with every once in a while. That's all I can say. I miss that. You forgot what happened with Adri. Well, I don't. I was watching and it just didn't look like she was able to get on for the longest time. And then I got distracted having to do something else and I never got back. So that's what it's like around here some days. Getting things done. What? And you did great, Carrie. You did great. Well, we could all do a Canadian join up. Not that we wouldn't want, View, you could come too, but Carol, like you've got StreamYard, right? And that allows you to have more than one guest, I think. I don't have StreamYard, but I'm thinking I've seen other people with it and they can have more than one person on at a time. And that would be fun. Have us crazy Canucks on, huh? All at one time. Because we're all close in time zones too, Devon. Oh, okay, yes, you can. I don't think we have any choice. I think View's going to have to come along at the same time if we ever do it. I've just got my phone, so I can't. And I don't have StreamYard, so I can't really do more than myself. Oh well. You can have it. That's way too many at one time. But is Carol? Do you have StreamYard, or do you have, or are you just testing it out? I know View's just testing it out at the moment. She's taking advantage of their offer. I've been seeing that too. What is it, $10 or something? So the crazy Canadians plus a couple of other crazies. Is that what we're do? Is that what you'd like to do? Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, yeah. I know. I get all flustered sometimes if things don't go right, and then it's like I can't see what's right in front of my nose, you know, much less find the things I need to find. I'm also trying while I'm at this to darken some of the areas that I think will be are a little more dark water, like those behind the paddle, or a little more. Give it that. Give give it as much of a 3D feel as I can. There we go. All right, Carol. When I see you on next time, and if I'm free, I will send you a hey. How's that? Hey, are you there? I'm just taking up some paint off of the edges of this palette here. Mixing it in with the blue. I've got a little bit of purple I'm going to mix in there, give it a little color. Some of that muddy green I used for her hair. There we go. And again, just, it's not a lot, but it's going to make a difference in the end. Just making that a little darker in the background. Wednesday, 3 Eastern, 1 Mountain, and Fridays. Okay. I'm going to make a point of looking for that because that looks like Wednesdays make me better for me because Fridays are in the morning, not yesterday, day before yesterday, and I'm at work at that time, and that's where I caught you was while I was at work, which I can do at times because I'm sitting there doing things at my desk, so I like to have, just like anybody has a radio or something on, I would rather have someone talking about making things and coloring and that. That's why I go to Dee Dee's channel there in the morning, 'cause I just love listening to her. And then every once in a while I look at the chat and bug you guys. So there, a little bit in that one, I think. A little here. I know it's hard to see what I'm doing, just these little faint spots of color, but this paint has to dry. I like the way, I'm just going to move this over. Her hair's pretty much dry now. I kind of like the way that that's turned out. Put that down there a little more so you can see kind of the swoop of the bun, the darkness of the hair behind the her decoration. This will probably get a little darker yet down here, but I didn't want to fudge with it too much while that was drying. I've added kind of that gray green to her hair to give her some depth. Did some depth on their faces. Added some more color around their eyes, on their cheeks, their lips. Building up some shapes in their fingers by adding shade. What else did I do today? Oh, did a little bit on this boat here, on these. And do I have some? I'm going to leave that water. I'm going to leave the water right now because I want that to kind of dry the way it is. And I'm going to come back to this boat here because this is like, yeah, it's not clear enough. It needs more definition and more work. Oh, that would be fun, Devon. This coming Wednesday, I think I actually am going over. Yes, I'm going over to Joanne's house this Wednesday after I'm done work. Maybe we'll see. We're gonna do some playing together. She wants some help with her chickens. She said something about my sarcasm. I don't know if that's good or bad, but she said she needed help with some sarcasm. Joanne's a lovely lady. And yeah, she lives alone. So yeah, we've started I've started visiting her, and we've gone out for coffee and all sorts of fun things together. I caught last time I saw her in person, I was actually at Indigo Books, and I found her she was in the corner at Indigo Books, and I think I surprised her. She was waiting for her sister, and was spending some time in there. So worked out good. We have a great time together. So I'm glad that we found each other. It took us a little while, but we've had some really fun times, good laughs, shared some ideas. Oh, Thank you, Carrie, for dropping by. Have a great time recording, and we'll catch up with you soon. Yes, she is, Devin. She is a lovely lady. Lovely, kind lady. So yeah, but it's always nice. One of these days, I think Devin and I are going to meet because we don't live that terribly far from each other, and there might be an occasion I might be heading Edmonton way. This last time I went down through Calgary to visit Mom and Dad, but I can go up that way too, through Edmonton, especially if I'm heading all the way to Vancouver. It's easier to drive up to Edmonton and then over the Coquihalla. Yeah, we could. An impromptu get together would be fun. But yeah, we'll work on that. That sounds like a fun plan. Now, on these bits here, these swirly bits here, I'm thinking I might like to do some gold on there. I do have the gold Kuretake. It's, there's this gold in the Gansai Tambi, but I also have the gem colors, and there's a gold in here that is like really gold. Let me see if I can pull it out. There, that one. That one comes out really gold as compared to, see how this one's kind of more, it's not as much of a yellow gold. This is yellow gold. This one is just called, this one's called bluish gold. And then this one, which is a little yellower, is just called gold. But you can see even that's not as gold as that, or as yellow as that. So these come in handy for certain things. I also have the opalescent colors too, and I try and use them sparingly. I would love to do that, Devin, and if I ever get the chance, I'm gonna definitely let you know that I'm on my way. So you better watch out. Yeah, and if anybody ever comes through Saskatchewan, Saskatoon, give me a call. You know, I'd love to meet up and have coffee and see some of the creative things that people do. It's always fun, and it's very much different than to see something in person than seeing something on screen, you know. And I will. Are you in Calgary or in Canmore? Like, I couldn't stop this last time, Carol, because I was up at 4:30 in the morning, Saskatoon time, and drove all the way. Okay, Calgary. Oh, your show was in Canmore, I think. Maybe that's why I have that on my brain. Anyways, I drove from 4:30 in the morning, not this Friday, but the Friday prior, all the way to Oliver, BC. That's a 15-hour drive. Did that in one day. I don't plan on doing that too often, but yeah. And then on the way back, basically, we drove as far as we could, and we ended up sleeping in Airdrie on Sunday night because we came home Sunday. So we drove out Friday, had the big party for my parents on Saturday, and drove home Sunday after visiting with them for a little while till about noonish. at their place before everybody left. And yeah, and just said, no, we're not, because we left so late in the day and we were going to lose an hour or two, it just didn't make sense to try and drive all the way home. So we drove till about 9 o'clock. We had already kind of said that's where we were going to stay. I booked the room from Oliver, so we knew where we were going to try and get to. And then, yeah, and then from there, just picked up in the morning, left, I think it was 9 o'clock, so, you know, a little more sensible time of getting out of bed. And then drove the rest of the way home, which is about a 6 or 7 hour drive. Hey there, Ivy Pearl. How are you doing? Nice that you could come by. Just doing a little extra painting on my boat page in the Fine Color by Gugeli, and just chatting away about life in general. So I hope you're doing well. And I'm just gonna decide here what else I'm gonna do with this boat. So I want to make these edges, like where the planks are, a little darker. And I think I'm gonna go straight with this dark brown right at the moment. I'm just gonna stick it in there. I'm not exactly sure how I want to approach this. What I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little water on here of where I want that paint to be. And then I'm just going to might be a little too much. It might be just a little too much. I'm going to try a different way here. Just apply the paint here. Spread it just a bit. I can get rid of that. That's not a big deal. Not a big deal with watercolor. And I can just go underneath it and support it again. There we go. That's better. That's a little better. Yeah, I think that's how I want to do it. Just a little softer. Just soften that up just a touch. There we go. So instead of wetting the paper, I decided that I'm going to draw the line with my paint and paintbrush right there. But like I said, that's just a little too intense. So I'm going to take this water and do it above the line. So that the bottom edge of what I had just painted then appears to be an edge. Well, thank you, Ivy Pearl. Arkansas, Indiana, and Missouri. Those are a long ways away, but you know, anytime because I think our community is a lovely community, and the more you hang with your community, I think the happier you are. Especially if it's A good one. And like, I give you a hard time. Alrighty, we'll see you again soon, Carol. Thanks for dropping by. And yes, when I go through Calgary again, I will be letting you know. How's that? I've been thinking, the last couple of summers that what I should do is I should make a road trip, just myself, and visit all of the people that I know that live somewhere else. Like I've got friends that live in Alberta and BC, and I never get a chance to go out and see them. So maybe it might be a good idea one time for me to make a road trip and just go and visit people. Be a bum and just go visit people and mooch off of them. How's that? Hey? But I don't think that's true. And like there's a lady that I used to work with who now lives in Lethbridge. I haven't seen her for years, but we still communicate, via Instagram and Facebook and all that, so that we know what's going on in each other's lives, kind of thing. And then I have a really old friend that lives in Calgary. That I knew her. I knew her before my husband and I got married. And my husband and I got married back in 81. And I probably knew her for maybe 5 or 6 years before that. So, known her for a really long time. I'd love to go visit her. She was in Saskatoon last year. We got together, had a great lunch. It's so funny when you haven't seen people for such a long time, but you knew them at significant points in your life. How you can just drop back into that comfortable conversation, comfortable way of being with each other. Hey, don't you think that's fun? Mooch dock with your camper. Yeah, that would be interesting. I got a large parking pad, but and frankly, I know that if I moved out to BC, out to Oliver, there are lots of places there that have just like trailer pads because they do have people that visit them that often with trailers. This. Find you knew their family. Boom. Yes, that's right. Friend of the family. But it's amazing, really how interconnected we all are. When you find out, that person that you've known for years knows so and so, and you go, "What? I never knew that." A little bit of yellow green in there too doesn't hurt. And I said a little bit of yellow green doesn't hurt. I'm just doing a little bit more of this line. Why to define it. That helps. Down here towards the water line. Might not be quite the same color. And I need to do these oars because I can see wood behind them. So I need to make the oars a little more opaque. Because right now there's just not a lot of paint on them. And I can see some of the background through the oars. That's coming along. I think what I'll do is I'm going to get some raw sienna, or Indian red, I mean. We're going to add it to some of this dark chocolate brown, or add some dark chocolate brown to it. There. It's not quite the same color as this, but it will do. Because I'm putting it on top. You can feel the wetness of the paper here, but I want to make these oars more opaque. I like the fact that the holes behind them are now a little more dim. Not as, they're not the same depth of intensity as the oar coming out of the window is at the moment. We'll see what happens once it dries. Just want to put a little more color up in there. There. Come back. Oh, have a great walk, Devin. Thank you for coming by. I'm going to stick around for a little while longer. I want to finish off these oars anyway. So let me see. It's about 2:15, not quite. So I'm going to take myself till 2:30. So if anybody's got some things they need to do, you know you're not going to miss too much. I'm going to get some things done myself so that I can watch my friends later on. Maybe while I'm working on my dragon or other pictures. I still am working on Spooky, the Witch Cat. I'm doing some pencil crayon work in there. I got the hashtags done. Oh, that's it, View. I forgot to add. Are you still here, View? I got a couple of more bamboo containers to put my stuff in at the thrift store again. I got this one and I got a big one. So this one's holding all my little stubby pencils and my other instruments that I like have right in front of me. Good scissors, etc. And then I got, so that was like $3. And then I think I got this one for $3.50. It holds my entire set. Speaking with my mouth in a paintbrush. It holds my entire set of Inktense, and I've got like the 150. These are the Graphitint, and that's like just a set of 12. And 24 watercolor pencils from Derwent. And see, I just got my little shorty Inktense in there. Anyways, so I got lots of room. I'm moving all of my pencils out of their tins and lying in little trays so that I can now pull down a box. Like I'll have watercolor pencils, and I think I'm going to put my oil-based pencils in there too, because I don't have too many of them and I got lots of room. I've got all of my wax-based pencils in my other box. So depending on what I'm using, I can just pull the box down and look at the pencils and know what I'm using. I don't I don't like trays. I don't tend to look for color names or numbers. Um, I kind of go, I feel like I need a light green, you know, that type of thing. And then I'll start looking for the color that I think is the color I'm looking for just by the tips of the pencils. Now I know Inktense, those are not not viewer friendly. When you look at the tips and even the colors on the on the uh, on the side of the pen, on the other end of the pencil where they paint the color on, it's not exactly the most accurate. However, I do have a scrap piece of paper beside me most times that I can then just quickly test what pencil I've chosen and make sure it's the one that I want. So, oh well, that'll get hidden in a bit. Just the end of my brush caught that right there. Just as I want to get these oars a little bit deeper. Again, and just another layer going on to intensify the color that's pretty much already there. Knew it was going to be a darker brown on those. You'll have to be a little careful here because some of this, I can still feel that paper is cold. So when your paper is cold, it's wet. Especially watercolor paper. 2, 3 are Dr. Play games. Games are becoming cross-system. You can play on an Xbox or Nintendo Switch with someone on computer or PS5. Oh, yes. My son plays games with my nephew. And they have a PS5. I didn't get into the PlayStation one because it was mostly, when they were young, it was more the sports stuff. And I like Super Mario and Zelda, puzzle games, that type of thing. Hey, I have an original Nintendo, right, going way back to those original analog games, side-scrolling games. That's coming along. Okay. I think just finish filling that in. Since I have the brown on my brush, I can just define that edge a little more because it was starting to fuzz out against the boat in the distance. And I want to see how I like the fact that those sails are that pale because they do mean that they're in the distance. And I'm going to leave, I'm not going to touch those again. I just want to pull this brown all the way to the tip there. So it's in the right spot. And I want to do the same thing with this one. And then once this dries, because it always dries a lot lighter. I'll see if it's as intense as I need it to be in order for it to stand out as an edge. I shouldn't get my head in there, hey? I got lots of hair. It gets in the way. I'll move that up and out of the way. Then I won't have to put my head in there just to see what I'm doing. There we go. That's what I want. There. 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 Fallout games. Oh, 2-player Donkey Kong. I used to play Donkey Kong a lot. Mario, Donkey Kong. Yeah, they're all fun. I love them. Online games, adventure with people type of healer. Oh, I like, you know what I used to, I love Dungeons and Dragons. I used to try and get people to game with me, but they were terrible actors. They didn't want to do the role playing, let's put it that way. So, but doing that, that's why I like Zelda so much, because you can kind of be that person, eh? You're playing Fallout 4. Ah. I've been watching Fallout on TV. Fallout? Yeah, it's Fallout. Where they have like zombies and vaults that people have been... Yeah, Fallout. That's the one. Where they've been hiding since a nuclear event. Okay, I might have to check out them. I'm going to definitely check them out. And I think Skyrim I've heard of. And isn't Pyro like a little dragon? Am I thinking it right? I don't know. A little more. That's not the blue I want. Well, I'm just about running out of my paint here, so I am going to talk for the rest of the time and get ready to go. So I hope to see you all again. Yeah, the little purple dragon. Yeah, I remember him. And who's the guy? The speedy guy. And he had a friend named Tails. Oh, played that game a lot too. Went around loop-de-loops a lot. It's been a while. Anyways, I'm glad to see that everybody came by to visit me. And I'm going to continue on this page again with you guys. I've been doing this only live. And I hope you come back and see how it keeps progressing along and how I do watercolors in this book. I'm going to do a little more of my of this as I'm watching other people. I've been taping the progress of this page in time lapse, so it's not going to take as long for you guys to see this one from beginning to end. I'm really happy with how it's starting to turn out, and I'm starting to add here. You can see right where my finger is some of the scales in using my watercolor and Inktense pencils, and I'm going to continue to do that because he's going to be kind of a black dragon with red mane and yellow belly. So we'll see how he continues. I've got lots of other things that I love to work on, so I hope y'all come back and see what I'm up to. A little bit of this, a little bit of that. Give this video, please give this video a thumbs up. And come back again and share it with your friends. If you think that they would like to come along on my coloring adventures and share it with me, please do that too. So thank you, everybody. Like, share, and subscribe, and we will see you soon. Thanks, and bye.